The Roundtable of King Arthur's Court, according to legend, was a fellowship of knights who followed a strict code of honor and service. The table was round so that all the knights seated around it would have the same stature. It was not just a table, it represented the highest order of chivalry in King Arthur's court. While a group of Lufkin men might not be knights from King Arthur's day, their acts of caring, kindness, and giving to this community, which developed around their own round table, have made them legends to us all. It all started in late 1970s when a group of men began gathering before work every morning at K.C. Platt's feed store in downtown Lufkin to drink coffee and chat before starting their day.
We got up early, we drank coffee.
Got up before it's time to go to work.
Yeah, and it was, it just started out with
one or two.
Yeah.
And then
it just
came
grew,
up and liked it.
Just grew from there.
Yeah.
In 1982, Alan Day brought his handmade round table to Southland Feed, and with that began the legend of the round table. The group changed their meeting location just once in their 40 years, picking up their table and moving it to Lufkin Farm Supply, which has been their home since 1994. In the early 1980s, the morning meetings turned into evening gatherings, getting together once a month to cook for their families.
But then whenever we got started doing these once a month cookings, where 2 or 3 of us would be a team, that's where it all, and that probably lasted 3 years,
Yeah,
2 or 3
sure did.
years.
It was during one of these dinners the group decided to donate their cooking skills to a fundraising event. And so their first donation was a fish fry for 100 people as an auction item at the second Expo Center anniversary party. Little did they know, one fish fry in 1988 would be the beginning of a more than 30-year project that has afforded them the opportunity to raise thousands of dollars to help hundreds of Angelina County students with college expenses. That first fish fry was purchased by the daughter of a Fort Smith, Arkansas couple to celebrate their 35th anniversary. In August of 1988, the group traveled at their own expense to cook for Mary Ann and David McMahon at their Arkansas ranch.
Dave's daughter was with the
Texas
Angus Association in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
See, I told you it takes 2 of us to tell this. And she came down, she was invited to the expo party. I guess Raymond invited her. And she came down, high bidder on the 100 fish fry. And all of a sudden, we realized we were going to have to be going up there.
So impressed with the dinner and the group of Lufkin men, McMahon handed the group a check for $10,000. While they turned it down at first, they eventually kept the check at the insistence of McMahon. However, the group had no idea what to do with such a large windfall. In October of that same year, it became clear how the money was to be used. That $10,000 started the Chuck Arnold Memorial Scholarship. The first scholarships were awarded in the spring of 1989. In the more than 30 years since it started, the group has awarded scholarships totaling more than $500,000. There is no specific number of students selected each year. The members of this group interview every student who applies and determines the best recipients. Students from all Angelina County school districts and homeschools are invited to apply.
We don't really care where they go to college, but I've asked all those at Hudson, before you set a taproot, come back and look and see if there's an opportunity here, because you're our people. I mean, you're a fit here before you decide, and then go where you think you need to be.
The scholarships are available to students involved in FFA and 4-H and planning to pursue their education at a college or trade school. While the scholarship is the group's main fundraiser, they have assisted many local nonprofits throughout the years by donating the food and cooking for events of all sorts.
We pay up front for for all the supplies, and then we deduct that from the net sales, and then all the rest of that goes to that. We never took any money from it. We've cooked in Oklahoma, we've cooked in Michigan, we've cooked in Arkansas, Tennessee. Matter of fact, Raymond and I went up and cooked in Chicago and some stuff like that. So, you know, we were doing a fair amount of traveling. And we went to Arkansas every year for 20 years, didn't we, Charlie?
Yeah.
Their ribeye sandwiches have become legendary.
I think that's one of the draws with when we're cooking, and we don't really think about it, don't really know it. one can say something and the other will argue about it, and all of a sudden everybody's fussing and raising hell. And I think I think the people that are waiting on sandwiches kind of get a kick out of listening to all that BS. Because the world, there's a lot of BS in this world, and I love it. I mean, I live for this. I don't like to miss this, do you? Hey, you don't like missing it, do you? It's just something that you do, and it's a disease is what the hell it is, but it's not curable. We don't do a lot of politics. We, other than the mayor's part of our group, he catches a lot of heck because everything's not done like we think it should be. But he ran for it, and he's fair game. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And then,
But we do tell him when he's done something good. We'll do a little of it.
you remember when?
But we don't just grow a bunch of roses on him.
But we do.
Anyway.
We talk about family. I talk about fishing. Today we had a guest here that had just gotten back in from a big deer hunt and had pictures, and we sit around ooh and ah about that. Out of our group, there are at least 6 of us that have lost a child.
Yeah.
I lost one at 13. Charlie lost his at 16, maybe. I can't remember. But even adult children and all that stuff, there's a bond that grows in something like that.
Bob Brown lost one. Peyton
Joe
Mathis
Berry
lost one.
I mean,
Joe Berry lost one.
So we're probably leaving somebody out, but there's a bond that grows right there that you can't explain because we've been through it. We know what it's like, and it just draws you close.
While several of the trusted men have left this life, they will not be forgotten as a younger generation of Lufkin men step up to continue the good deeds, begun by a group of men who, because of their selfless and giving nature, have done so much good in this community.
I think that people that do things and aren't looking for recognition are given the best gift. You don't do it so somebody will brag on you. You don't do it for any reason other than it's just the right thing to do. Isn't it, Charlie?
Yeah.